Hi, and welcome to this AI and C# video on the Microsoft Agent Framework. And today is a day to be celebrated because the Microsoft Agent Framework is now general available. So I wanted to make two videos in relation to the general availability. This one is part one with a general overview for those people who haven't learned Agent Framework yet, have not looked at it, on how to get started. And I have a part two for the more initiated who have already looked at it on what actually went live, what are the overview of all the different packages, and what the Agent Framework can do. But just to see what happens, we have now been in a 6-month period where we got a preview back in October 2025. The team had behind the scenes worked for it for some months before that. But we were in a package state where a lot of breaking changes could happen. In February 2026, we got our first release candidate, and through 5 different candidates, we now reach general availability. And general availability is very important for enterprise because we're now enterprise ready, meaning there's no more breaking changes unless there's a really, really good reason. Prior to that, we saw a lot of breaking changes because the framework was being stabilized. So what is Agent Framework? Just for the people who don't know, it is a set of NuGet packages for C# that can define agents and work with AI in general. So we can define agents, so we can make prompts and work with data, events and user events, and we can provide tools so we can retrieve additional data and do actions. It's also a workflow engine where we can define predefined sequences of operations and end up with agentic workflow patterns. For those who have used something called Semantic Kernel, this is more or less Semantic Kernel 2.0. It's an evolution from that, getting rid of all the legacy parts and making a much more modern framework. For those who know Microsoft Extensions AI, it's a higher abstraction level, so you don't need to do all the nitty-gritty details yourself. So it's a perfect fit if you want to have some high-level enterprise-ready software that makes it possible to work with AI. It can work with literally everything like OpenAI, Gemini, Anthropic, Grok, Llama, and so on and so forth. Anything that supports what is called the iChat client, which is basically everything in the world. So how can you get to learn it if you are interested in this? I have a couple of offerings myself, and Microsoft have, of course, their own things. So if you just want to see the code and see their core samples, they have a bunch of samples. You can go to their GitHub repository. It's an open source project. You can see everything is developed in the open, including their projects and what they're working on. If you want a more curated version of that, you can go to the YouTube channel and see my 200 plus videos on this, together with a bunch of additional samples that are a little more down to nature and a little more easy to consume, in my opinion at least. If you really need to learn this, I offer a Udemy course, which is 4 hours of basic training and 8 hours of advanced topic. If you don't want to pay anything, there's a 90-minute version of that same content on the YouTube channel in a video that is called literally 90 minutes introduction. If you want to learn by reading instead, Microsoft Learn is a great place to go in order to read all about what Agent Framework is and what you can do. So this is everything. Now is the time to get going with Agent Framework. It's ready, it's stable, it's in general release, so it can be used for enterprise users. So with that, see you on the next one.